I think it's time I tell you a story. I think it's story time, guys. Anyone who knows me personally probably already heard this story, but I'm putting it out there. This is the story of why Tom Clancy is a dick. So growing up in the 90s, when you heard Tom Clancy's name, the first thing that you thought of was the Rainbow Six series. Anyone who remembers those video games that were ridiculously difficult and, I guess, somewhat accurate. I honestly wasn't a huge fan of them, but that's all I remember hearing Tom Clancy's name associated with. He also wrote amazing books like Hunt for Red October and Patriot Games and a litany of other books that I'm not going to rattle off right now. So, I guess I was 12 or 13-year-old Jeff. Me and my best friend get word that Tom Clancy's coming to do a book signing at a Barnes & Noble that is maybe like 15 minutes from our house. So we're excited. We're super pumped. It's Tom Clancy. Guy's awesome. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. We're gonna go meet Tom Clancy. So we get there, and it's a pretty long line. Line's out the door. So in order to get the book signed by him, you have to buy the current book that he is selling. Which this wasn't gonna be a particularly popular book because it was actual stories. It wasn't a fiction story. It was a non-fiction, as it were. He also had a co-writer on the book, so I wasn't too excited about getting the book, to be completely honest. Now, what got me really excited about meeting Tom Clancy, who at the time was probably a personal hero of mine, I did a book report on a Tom Clancy novel known as Cybernation, and this is exactly what the cover looked like. Now, as you can see, Tom Clancy's name is absolutely huge on this book, so you think he's got to be involved somehow with this. If your name is that big on the book, you're probably, at least on a creative level, somewhat involved with this. So keep that in mind. You know, it's a Tom Clancy book that I read. I did a book report on it. Thought it was a cool book. Just wanted to tell the guy, hey, I like this book. I did a book report on it. That's cool. Whatever. So we wait in line. Pretty long line. Out the door. Like I said, bought the book that we didn't want to buy in the first place. We wait all that time, and we get up to the table where he's signing. I'm like, so excited. This is Tom Clancy. Get to meet Tom Clancy. And he gets to sign this book, and I'll have his autograph forever. And I'll get to tell him, hey, I actually did a book report on one of your books. So I'm next in line. I'm getting super nervous, you know. 13-year-old Jeff thinking, hey, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. I get to meet one of my heroes. So the first guy to sign it is his co-author, and he's a cool guy. I don't really know who he is. Whatever. That's fine. And then I shuffle on over, and I get to Tom Clancy. And I'm 13-year-old Jeff. And he's nervous. 13-year-old Jeff is nervous. So he looks at Tom Clancy, he says, I really enjoy your work. I'm a fan of most of your books. And as a matter of fact, I recently did a book report on your book, Cybernation. And Tom Clancy looks at 13-year-old Jeff, and instead of taking a compliment like any gracious individual should do, Tom Clancy looks at 13-year-old Jeff and he says, I didn't write that book. This same book that has Tom Clancy's name at the top in the largest print on the cover of the book, he says, I didn't write that book. Were you involved with it at all? Or did you just plaster your name on it? The gentleman who actually wrote the book is at the bottom of the front cover. This gentleman should get the credit for writing this book. But obviously for marketing purposes, Tom Clancy's name is big as hell on it. So Tom Clancy signs the book that I purchased, that I didn't want to purchase in the first place. So I've got his autograph. But my image of Tom Clancy was forever tainted. And it's simply because he could not take a compliment. Sure, I maybe should have done a little bit more research as to find out who actually wrote this book. But at the very least, he could have said, well, I didn't write the book, but I was involved with it, and I'm glad that you like the series. It's always nice to meet a fan. But no, 13-year-old Jeff got, I didn't write that book. And from then on, two things have happened. One, I have made it a rule to generally not meet my heroes for fear that they will shatter the illusion that is their celebrity. And two, I'm just waiting for Tom Clancy to croak so that autograph is actually worth something. Yeah? Huh? Story time. It's always a good time. Thanks for listening, guys. It felt good to get that out. Felt good to put that out there. This was fun. We'll have to do this again.